Well, I haven't figured out all this stuff again since my computer crashed, but good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Habitual Line Crosser, and with me, Knox. All right, you want to say hi? Be careful. Okay, all right. We're going to get him. Knox had surgery today. So he's going to get, we're going to go a little light on the treats just because his stomach may not be okay with the anesthesia he had. He had 3 growths removed on him, and he had a dental, so they cleaned all his teeth too. So, so he's got some stitches, but he's chilling. He's a good boy. All right, Knox, you can go to bed. Knox, go to bed. Go to bed. I just got to keep an eye on him. If you guys see him licking anything, you let me know because I don't have his cone on right now. Knox, come on, bud. Go to bed. Go to bed. Good boy. Knox, bed. And he went to the small bed, so you guys can't even see him. Okay, fair enough. Whatever. What is going on, everybody? We have people from Denmark. They're not cancerous. No, they are not. Important stuff. It's a good sign. He's active after surgery. Yeah, he's up and moving. He's just sleeping a lot right now. I know he didn't want a camera, but Rain will go over on the camera for you guys. I might be able to get it moved. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it, so you guys can see him. Okay. All right, that's the best I can do with the circumstances. We got Wisconsin, North Carolina, Minnesota. Knox is fortified. No, Knox, go back to bed. You're fine, bud. Everything's fine. Yeah, he had one on his chest and one on each back leg, so got them all going. Knox, go on. I'm trying to be gentle with him because I don't want to hurt him. Come on, go to bed. Go on. Good boy. There we go. The former home of Grandpa Buff. Hey, Grandpa Buff is still around. North Carolina, Nebraska, Kentucky, Australia. I realized recently that I was not using my Australian voice as much as I normally do, so I decided to use some more Aussie as of late. Apparently, you guys really like the Goku joke about the what is it called? Helios laser. Colorado, Virginia, Florida, Ohio. Oh man, I want to go up to Ohio. That was my phone that fell. I want to go up to Ohio with Nick. If you guys have never seen, it's over on Pepperbox. We do a show called Habitually Fat, and obviously talking about myself. No, we go around to different museums and stuff like that, and it's really cool. And Dayton, Ohio has the Air Force Museum, so I really I saw someone say he's licking. That's Rain licking. Rain's fine. She can lick all she wants. The big white one's the one we gotta watch. Nobody says they want to go to Ohio. I know, but Dayton, Ohio has that the Air Force Museum, which apparently is like enormous. Spokane, Washington. My message got split. Oh, okay. Oklahoma, but not Fort Sill. Oklahoma just... Oklahoma City has decent food. Lawton does not. Is he walking okay? Yeah, I mean, he's definitely feeling it a little bit. They gave him enough meds for today. Tomorrow morning, he'll start on his pain meds and his antibiotics and stuff. So if you're looking for museums, you recommend ALV. I'm unfamiliar with that one. I have done so the way Nick and I are doing it is I pick one, he picks one, I pick one, he picks one, back and forth. We already got our next one lined up. We'll be down in San Antonio. And then I am trying to figure out the logistics associated with possibly, I really want to go see like the Arizona, the Pearl Harbor Museum, and the Mighty Mo. I would, like, that is very high on my list. But so is Dayton, Ohio. So I don't know. Nice spot on Mr. Terry History. Want more of it? Dude, that was so much fun. I had so much fun doing that with Mr. Terry. That was an absolute blast, man. The Scotland bit was funny. Oh, of course, everybody likes Scotland. But you know what's funny is I do the Scottish accent, and sometimes Scots get in my comment section and they're like, that's not, real Scottish accent. And I'm like, hold on, drive a couple blocks. Every Scot that I've ever heard in my entire life has a slightly different accent. Speaking of DBZ, Mexico, they're huge fans. If you're going to do Mexico and reference that, really? In Mexico, they're DBZ fans? I learned something new. I would suggest Air Zoo, Michigan. They have a very cool V1. Ooh. I do also, and it's not a museum, but I would like to do Oshkosh, the air show. I would really like to do that. I think that would be an absolute blast. Let me see. The Boneyard, the Mojave. Can civilians, honest question, can civilians go in the Boneyard? I'm military, yes, but can I just, hey, I want to go drive through the Boneyard and look at stuff. Hello, I'm glad I'm on time. Gonna need this escape. Well, I'm glad you're here, Stuart. You didn't miss anything special. Knox over there, the big white one in the small bed. He this morning, he had surgery. I dropped him off at 7 this morning. And I picked him up around 2 this afternoon. So he's just chilling. The cartel will stop just to watch Dragon Ball? No shit. Oh, it's in Arizona. Is it true the Mexican gang activity stopped somewhat around the release of the DBZ game? I don't know. That would be hilarious. You can't drive through, but you can get a tour through Pima County Air Museum. Then I'm going to have to try and make that happen. Muskogee, Oklahoma is not far from OKC. Hell yeah. I haven't done too much exploring around OKC aside from more. But I do like the food in OKC. Anna Markey, what is up, my dude? Hope the big dog is okay. He's doing good. He's just chilling right over there. He's the big dog in the little bed for some reason. I don't know why. He just, if it fits, it sits. Air Force Museum is awesome. Most of the characters are there. I just hope I hold up. I can live up to the hype. Yes, cartels do slow down during DBZ events. That's funny as hell. But it's not. I guess thinking about it, it's not that far off because I've known guys who were overseas who wanted nothing else to do but magic and they watch Dragon Ball Z, all the nerdy shit. Can you imagine you get up to the pearly gates and they do a replay and the dude you got iced by was playing Dungeons and Dragons 3 hours before they fucking laid you out? I think that's wonderful. He's got that brick head. He's a snug fit. I'm telling you, he's just chilling. But he's comfy. That's what I care about. He might be a little stoned still. He has really bad anxiety. And so when I picked him up, his butt was all covered in poo. And because when he panics, and this is why when I take him to get groomed, he's a first in, first out. Because he cannot sit in a kennel for any extended period of time because he panics. And as he's barking, he's literally projectile shitting at the wall behind the kennel. Yeah. It's happened for most of his life. He's got real bad anxiety. How was the game show? Bro, I had an absolute blast. It was so much fun. It was so much fun, man. Mr. Terry, if you hop in here tonight or if you see this, 100%, and I'll text you too. I texted him last night afterwards. He's like, you guys didn't have to, because I don't know if you guys watched it. Afterwards, we hung out and we answered a few people's questions that were asking some stuff. And holy sweet Jesus, Nicholas.
Would you intercept me? I'd intercept me.
Good evening, HLC. How was your week? Did you hear the guttural screeching coming from the Democrat Party?
I don't even know if it's the Democrat Party at this point in time. I can't be mad at the guy. He's getting results. Okay, I'm all about being a good steward of proper, financial planning. I cannot for the life of me think of a reason that Americans need to spend millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on some of the programs USAID was pushing. It's been in, I cannot, because I always give the benefit of the doubt. All right, can I put my head there, right? Which is part of the reason that I'm so vocal about Ukraine is because I put my head in this conflict and who's right, who's wrong, and I want to get there. But I digress. I genuinely cannot think of a reason to defend those programs. It's so strange to me. Also, thank you so much. That is incredibly generous, man. Thank you. Looks like I'm going to have to go get Knox some more treats or something. I do cop the Logitech G733s. I got a 502 and then a 910 keyboard. I like Logitech, man. Like, these are Logitech. These are, I don't even know what they are. They're Logitech somethings. But I had Razer. Like, I had Logitechs before, and they lasted for fucking ever. And then I was like, I'm gonna go get some Razers, you know, because they went out. And I was like, I'm gonna get some Razers. The Razers lasted like 4 months. So I went back with Logitech, and I've had no trouble since. Thank you for bringing back. Can I get a hell yeah? Also, when you get a B21 Stealthy Crater Maker shirt, yes, that is on my list. The Stealthy Crater Maker shirt is on my list. I just thought it would also, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was in my last video. The limited edition shirt that came out with.
Would you intercept me?
Jesus.
I'd intercept me.
My spidey senses were tingling. How are you, HLC?
I'm good. I mean, honestly, I'm exhausted. This week took it out of me, guys, because like there's a lot of content coming this weekend, for YouTube and Pepperbox. So I've been busy on that. Mrs. Linecrosser had to make several thumbnails in like a day. So it's been just go. Like, I was getting off of my regular army job, coming straight home and going straight to work. I did play some video games earlier for like 2 hours, and it was Craftopia, which I don't know how that game isn't getting sued. It's literally a survival version of Breath of the Wild. I have no idea how that game is getting sued. Like, the enemies look the same. The weapons are almost identical. Like, the sounds are the same. I have no idea how Craftopia has not gotten sued yet. Paying for this man's rent, and I didn't even have to put on the dress, you know. Laser go Bert. I don't know where my PC's from. My monitor's just an old TV. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. I've had PCs that like wouldn't stay cool, so I had the side of them off, and they were just full of dust and gross. And I've been there, man. I've been there. Love the content. Thank you so much, Jeremy. I appreciate you being here, my dude. Elecom trackballs for me. Logitech failing me after a year or two. Really? I mean, I get, again, to each their own. You know, Logitech has just been good to me. And I thought, you know, every time I think of Logitech, I think of like the standard government Logitech everything. But Logitech makes some high-end stuff. Nintendo loves suing people. I'm telling you, I don't think they know about Craftopia. Because, like, I was playing it today. So I bought Craftopia. It's on Steam. I bought it 3-4 years ago. And I played it a little bit. And it was really, like, very, very early. And I was like, okay, this game's okay. You know, I played it for, I think I had, like, 15 hours in it. And I uninstalled it. I haven't really played it anymore. And then this week, I was looking around for a new game to play. And nothing on the store looked good. So I was like, well, you know, we'll just re-download Craftopia. Apparently it got, you know, I got some updates. It's a completely different game. And it's Breath of the Wild survival. That's literally what it is. There's a little bit of Pokemon sprinkled in there, but other than that, it's Breath of the Wild. More naval characters, yes, they are on my list. Saw you on Mr. Terry's game show. Truth be told, I didn't think F-35s mainly because I wouldn't call it historical. Yeah, I think the historical thing is what threw me off too. But as soon as I said F-16, like as F-16 came out my mouth, my brain was like, that's Air Force only, you fucking douche canoe. So then my brain was like, F-18, no, that's Navy and Marines. F-15, no, that's just Air Force. And then I was like, fuck, what combat aircraft? And I was like, F-22, only Air Force. And then right before F-35 popped up, I was like, fuck F-35, god damn it. Protocol Geneva checklist. What is up, Robin St. Pierre, man? I saw you in the stream last night, sending some stuff over Mr. Terry's way. Mr. Terry's a good dude, man. And he was, you know, it's kind of crazy. Please look into Astroneer. I have looked into the Astroneer. I'm not there yet. Like, honestly, one of the ones that I was like looking into possibly getting was Space Engineers. Because I like games like that. But Space Engineers 2 just came out, and I was like, oh, what about that one? But it's still only single player right now. They don't have the multiplayer up and running yet. So I'm one of those, like, I'm a social gamer. I really like playing games with other people. Yeah. I play WoW. I'm an old lady. There's nothing wrong with WoW. So Ukraine receive first mirages from France. Baltics disconnect themselves from Russian power grid tomorrow. How's things over there? Oh, shit. I mean, over here, it's pretty sporty, man. I don't... Okay. I don't want to speak poorly about the commander in chief, but it's either A, he's making these deals and getting very lucky with the outcome, which statistically the probability there is very, very low. Or B, he's making these decisions to force a lot of people's hands because he knows it's going to get the results that he wants, which is a higher level, like, tactical and competence than I really thought most of Washington in general had. So I'm honestly, it's been pretty interesting. Knox is the big white one. Yep, he's a bump on the log over there. He's just sleeping. You can see one of his stitches right there on his leg. That's where they removed one of his lumps. Yeah, well, he's got one on his chest and then one on each back leg. So I do multi-box. Evening. You should check out Empyrean. Oh, Hayato or Hato, I don't know how to say that. Oh yeah, I have Empyrean. I have been in the weeds on Empyrean. We played it all like vanilla the first time through, just regular normal mode, and then like we got to a point where it was like, okay, this is really hard to do, and then we went into creative mode, and then we started looking at some of the blueprints. Bro, I thought Minecrafters were bad. Holy shit. If you guys have never heard of Empyrean Galactic Survival, it's Minecraft on level 1,000. Like, there's really no other way to explain it. Like, you start on a planet, you gather resources, the planet's relatively big, you can build hover vehicles, you can build small vessels, you can build capital vessels. When I'm saying capital vessels, I mean they're like the size of 10 football fields. These things, okay. If you go into Empyrean Galactic Survival and you look into the workshops, which is where everyone puts all their blueprints, I went in there one time because I was bored, and someone made the blueprint, the actual like blueprint, and you could print it, of the flying aircraft carrier from the Avengers. Okay, like, it is insane what people do. Someone made an F-22 blueprint. I have an F-22 inside one of my capital vessels. That's absolutely a thing. I'm telling you, it went, whew. That thing's nuts. Is Knox named that? Why is Knox named that? And did you name him after Fort Knox, the main Knox, or is it unrelated? No. Fort Knox. He's named after Fort Knox. We actually, funny story about how I got Knox. My ex-wife brought him home. And we thought he was blind, because when he was a puppy, his mom would move just a couple feet and he would like whine like he couldn't find her, which is a common thing when you get with a puppy's blind. So we thought he was blind. Turns out he's just a little slow, but that is my best buddy in the whole wide world. Knox has been with me for almost 11 years. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You can go back to bed. Lay down. Good boy. No. I just said good boy, and he just stared at me. I heard people talking about the F-22 retiring in 2030. Is it true? The only way... So, America does this weird thing where we will not retire something until we have something that is better. We have this weird... You wish the game... Oh, Empyrean? So, Minecraft on cocaine, yes. Do you know what... Segep is? Also try to listen to the song Not Alone by the artist YouTube channel Hymns of the Imperium. Do it on stream now. Robin, I can't, because that could potentially be copyrighted music that could end up in a copyright strike for me. Even though this thing is not monetized right now, it could still end up in a copyright strike for me. So nothing personal, Robin. I will check it out. I will try to check it out. And I think it was you or somebody else. Hey, Weapons, what's up, buddy? Asking about the 30-06 Thompson. And my first sergeant is actually a gun dealer, and he has just, God, I've never seen so many guns. And like, what's crazy is, like, I know Brandon Herrera, and I've never seen Brandon's entire collection. So that's fair. I've never seen his whole collection. But goddamn, my first sergeant got a lot of firepower. Like, more. If I grabbed one gun out of there every single day and just fired one bullet out of it, I would probably die before I got to the end of that collection. Like, that's genuinely where I think it's at. It's more than I've seen at Bass Pro Shop. Okay, like that it's insane. Have you and the Fat Electrician made plans for another TSF or museum visit yet? Yes. I know where we're going. I mean, we're going to San Antonio. I said that, but I don't know if we said on stream or if it was off stream exactly what we're doing, but we do. Also, when's the next kind of consensual to drop? Did I see Russia's Orishnik fail? It is in my notes. I plan on putting it in a video. So when I see a news story, I write it down in my notes, and that's what I try and get after as quick as I can. The next kind of consensual should be, I want to say sometime this week. Most underrated Navy jet period from Vietnam to Desert Storm. Underrated? The only jet that is popping into my brain right now is the F4 Phantom, and it's not underrated. Like, it was very aptly rated, I feel like. Don't want to test YouTube. You facts, homie. Challenge the kid to a DCS battle. I'll fly the CF-18. If I knew how to play DCS, here's the thing. The unfortunate reality of the position that I'm in is I don't have a lot of time to play video games. And as much as I love playing video games, it's always like I'll sit down for a video game and then it's like, oh, I got to handle this or I got to handle this. And you know what's funny is I think it's really important that anyone in any position, no matter who they are, they just do things to humble themselves. Like that's kind of the person that I am. And it's funny, like I'll be in my backyard, like picking up dog shit, just putting it in the bucket, picking up dog shit. And I'll stop and I kind of look around and I'm like, HLC picks up his own dog shit. Man, that dude ain't shit. And I'll just go right back to it. Like it's funny as hell. So yeah, you said the A7 Corsair, maybe. Why do some of your prior live streams get deleted? Okay, so the one last week, I said a word. It was a slip of the tongue, and it snuck out. And as soon as I got done, Mrs. Line Crosser was like, look, you can't chance that. Take it down. And I was like, she's right. She's absolutely right. So I took the one down last week. I'm sorry, guys. This one, as long as I don't have a slip of the tongue and say something stupid, I think we're good. Thank you for the contest celebrating my grandfather day. Edmund F. Groos, Merchant Marines, 41 to 46, 4 years in court defending his honor from someone who stole his estate. Dude, that's awesome. I'm so glad. I'm glad you guys won. Like, dead serious, man. That's fucking awesome. It's always good when, like, the good people come out on top. Like, that's honestly, I'm a big fan of that. Man, maybe, like, down the road, I'll just end up like Whistling Diesel and just help people get their shit back. I've never met Cody. I would like to. I like his content and I like his kind of carefree attitude, except for like when it comes to like someone he cares about. I do really appreciate that about him. Just got here. Who's Knox and do a backflip? So can't do a backflip. Actually, sitting here right now, my hip hurts. Like I'm that surgery did not go well. Knox is the big white one over there in the small bed. You can actually see some of the stitches on his leg right there, where they went in and took off a growth. That's my buddy, though. Hi, Mr. Line Crosser. Ooh, Mr. Line Crosser, man, I'm in trouble. Waiting for you to do a USA versus the world. Australia good excuse to collaborate with Australian military content creators like CSRC. I'm unfamiliar with CSRC, but I have in the past worked with Anarchy, and I don't know if he's still in here right now. He was in here earlier. I do like Anarchy. And actually, I don't know if they're British or if they're Australian, the Grim Reapers. I don't know them personally, but a friend of a friend knows them. So I'm maybe. What about the F-22 question? Oh, I'm so sorry, man, Thomas. I'm so sorry, dude.
Would you intercept me?
And answer the F-22 question.
I'd intercept me.
As you're not FBI agent, I remember all your streams.
Wither, I swear to God, the next time we're co-located in the same space, if you don't walk up to me and say hello, I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna find you, and then I'm gonna show up wearing nothing but the Borat thong. That's what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be like, Wither, how you doing? Like on the chest. It's happening. Wither and I have been in the same space twice, and twice Wither has not come up and said hello. Wither, I swear to God, I'm gonna find you. I don't have those skills. I was gonna make the whole speech from Taken. I don't have any special set of skills. I mean, I'm pretty ruthless at a hot dog eating contest. Take that information as you will. Someone's gonna clip that. Anyways, yeah. So the F-22 question. All right. I don't know. They've talked about retiring the F-22 previously, but I think the United States is starting to get smart to it. So it's a cost analysis and threat analysis. The United States is supposed to. They don't always do this. They look at two factors when funding any military program: the cost of keeping it going versus building something new, and the threat of keeping it going versus building something new. So cost and threat is really what they pay attention to. And I think that we've gotten smart to specifically the Chinese. They try to gaslight the United States. We spend all this money on research and development. They steal our shit, and then they want to tell the world that they're amazing. So I would not doubt if we have a lot of things that are being developed in secret. But the reality is, of the F-22, the only way it'll ever be retired is if we find something that can beat it. And I'm not talking like 1v1 beat it. I'm talking like it has to crush the F-22. In the same way, I love the F-15. It's a missile truck. Like, it'll always have a special place in my heart. Like 104-0, like that's just complete air dominance. But the F-22 punked it. Like, it's I call it as I see it. Like, that's the same way that, like, I think an Iowa class battleship is sexier in every way than an Arleigh Burke. But an Arleigh Burke is also more sexy than a Ticonderoga. Ticonderoga looks like a dude wearing a trucker hat. Like what's this dude? What's that guy's name from fucking Punked on MTV? Anyways, Ashton Kutcher. But I also know an Arleigh Burke could put that battleship at the bottom of the ocean before they even knew that Arleigh Burke was there. So like it that's the way I look at it. I love to see her tism with Zach Hazard. Please God. I don't know who Zach Hazard is, but I will definitely remember that name because my favorite boat and this is the only way that I have to tie things to other things to remember them. My favorite boat in Hydro Thunder was Rad Hazard, the one that looked like a flying saucer. Yep. Tycho is beautiful. And I just okay. The Tycho has the same sensors. It has more VLS cells than an Arleigh Burke. Yes, it has more. I think they have about like 30 more. I'm just shooting in the dark here. I know they have more. I don't know how much more. But I just think it's ugly. I think the bridge, like the tower in the middle where like all the people live and all the shops and shit are, it's just too tall. Personal. I've been on an Arleigh Burke before, and I tell you, this is the thing. I've never been around naval vessels. Never been around them. So when I went up to Washington and I was on the USS John McCain, I was being walked around there by one of my sister's friends. He was a really nice guy. Honestly, showed me everything. Probably showed me shit he wasn't supposed to, but I got a clearance. That's fine. Was explaining everything to me, and like I'm like a kid in a candy store. And it's crazy to me that the Navy refers to those DDGs as small boys. Like it's just such a foreign idea. They're like, this is a small boy. The thing is fucking massive. I mean, look, guys, I've touched the ocean like 3 times in my entire life. So leave me alone, okay? But yeah, you are not a sailor. I'm not. I'm sorry. The kids should check out analog horror videos about elder mimics. You guys know, like, I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to like anything spooky, right? Like, okay, Tiger Teal and What the French Toast, they're both friends of mine, and they've been trying to get me to play Phasmophobia for a while. The last time I played Phasmophobia, it was not good. I screamed, and they want to record it, and I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah. What kind of boat does the sis work on? So she worked on DDGs. She was on small boys because she's a GSM, gas turbine system maintenance. That sounds right. A snipe, whatever that is. She works in the belly of the boat, which scares the living piss out of me. I'll be totally honest with you. But she loved what she did. It's just right now she's probably not going to be back on boats at least for a while. So Zach was small arms repair YouTuber. Lots of stories. Really? It's funny. When I was in Korea, the only other small arms repair that I've ever met. Ooh, let's let Withers play.
Would you intercept me? I'd intercept me.
He'll have to get going, but I promise we will meet at the next live show for unsubscribe.
If you don't want, make it weird. Walk up and whisper in my ear, "Hi, I'm Wither." Dude, do it. Make it weird. I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm giving you permission, Wither. Only you. So the only other small arms repair that I ever met in the military, his name was Austin Carling, and I still talk to him every once in a while. He's a drill sergeant now. He so I've been a drummer for a long time. I play drums. When I'm out of the military and I have time again, I do plan on getting back into it. I actually have an electric kit at my house just because my wife doesn't do loud noises. So my acoustic kit, I got rid of it a while back. And so it's funny. I was in Korea. I was in Suwon, South Korea. And right next to where I worked was the CAC, the Community Activity Center. Yes, I'm aware of how that sounds. And I was in there one day eating lunch, and I hear somebody on the drums, and they were doing really bad. But I'm also one of those, like, I love teaching people. I've always loved teaching people. And so I heard somebody back on the drums, and I was like, okay, they're really bad, but maybe they're just, they want to learn. And I'm okay with that. Hey. So my goal was, like, I was just going to pop in and be like, hey, would you like to learn some things? Maybe just a couple of simple beats. And I walk in, and there's this kid, Austin Carling, and he had a guitar on his lap, and this kid could shred the guitar. Not a drummer by any stretch of the imagination. And he had a guitar on his lap, and he's sitting behind the drum set, and he looked up at me with the biggest puppy dog eyes and was like, do you play drums? I was like, yeah, I play drums. So we formed a little band there, man, and we had a good time. We made like 6 or 7 different songs. Like we had fun. It was a good time. Franklin, trash day or no trash day? Knox, speak. Also, you did that because I say it out loud. Make a USA versus the world a fictional nation, the Imperium of Man. I do plan on doing some more fictional things because I feel like my zombie apocalypse one was a little underwhelming. So it is on my list to do, but I'm scared. I'll be totally honest with you, because like the first ones that pop into my mind is like 40K or Star Wars, like the Empire, or I mean, hell, even like the Galactic Federation, like any of those from Star Trek. Those Star Trek. But anyways,
would you intercept me?
Oh my gosh, Nicholas!
I'd intercept me.
Speaking of your sister, how is she? Last we heard she was in recovery after the bike crash. Also, did you get a haircut? You're looking shiny today.
I did shave my head last night. Thank you very much for noticing. She's good. She's up and walking around. She's still in a lot of pain. Right now, she's kind of at a crossroads. She's deciding if the Navy is going to keep her or, if she's going to go on her merry way. And that decision is entirely her own. And I told her, like, look, what's crazy is before I joined, I thought, like, if you don't do your full time, like you're weak. And now that I've been doing this for 16 years, I'm like, when your body says you're done, you need to listen. But jumping back to the fictional USA versus, bro, there's so much to know about all of those universes. Like people are study level when it comes to those universes. I could be like, all right, so an average X-Wing has blah, 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 whatever protection, and then there's going to be those guys. Well, actually, against lead slingers, it doesn't and I don't know if I can compete with that. So I'm very apprehensive about going into those things. So, yeah. Drums, not drugs. Exactly. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any children aside from my fur puppies, my fur children. If you teach your kids to love fishing, guns, music, or cars, hell, even bikes, they'll never have money for drugs. That's kind of the simplest solution. I have like 3 out of 4 of those. 3 out of 5. I'm not really into bikes. I used to really be into cars. I'm more of a 4x4 guy. Definitely like guns to a certain point. Definitely like music. Yeah. You'll never have money for any of that shit. Zach collabed with NAFO before and has a raccoon too. Really? So I don't know how to feel about NAFO. Like I feel like our opinions align to a certain point. Because I pay attention to them on Twitter, and it seems like they like me overall. Like the NAFO people, it seems like they like me overall. There are some things that they say that I disagree with, but I also think that that's a healthy relationship to have with people. Like, I don't agree with everything Brandon Herrera says, and it's really funny when not you people, but like everybody out there tries to tag Brandon in something I say, or tries to tag me in something he said to like treat, how can you guys be friends if you have this differing opinion? It's like, 2 people can be cool with each other and have different opinions, man. Do a visit to NASA and Clear Lake. I'll buy you guys a drink or two. I do want to go see like some space shit. I wouldn't be opposed to it. There's a lot of things. So right now everything is on the list. We just want to prioritize. Because we're also getting some connections. Not me per se. Well, the curator here knows some people that can get me into some places. So I'm really excited about that. Gas turbine, mechanical. Snipe is short for snipes men or engineers. Your sister told half the story on your channel. I don't have the space to tell a story here. Read the engineer's lament. Lament. That word's difficult, Colin. It is what it is. It is what it is. I would also like to start reading again. I used to love reading. I just haven't had any time. As a postal worker, I approve that statement. Listen to your body. P.S. Love your content, man. Thank you so much, insert name here. I appreciate it. Could you please fix your animating? How so? Honest question. So when I started refining the new filter style that I use, I literally, like on this screen here, I had a side-by-side of my old filter and the new one. And I mean, it's damn near perfect. The only thing that I'm still having trouble getting perfect is the color. One makes me a little more washed out and the other one doesn't. So I've done some color corrections and things like that. So I'm trying to stay on top of it as best I possibly can. Army strong, not army smart. Hush up, weapons. You should do the fantasy versus US videos with admin. Administrative results? Does he? I'll be honest with you. Okay, don't take this the wrong way. I didn't even know who admin was while I was having breakfast with him after a range day. Like it was him. It was G-Van, who's my editor. It was Eli Double Tap. I mean, there was a whole thing. Nick was there. I think Rich was there. It was the second range day, and I was just shooting the shit with him. And somebody called him admin, and I was like, admin, and he's like, administrative results, and I was like, oh, cool. That's your screen name. Cool, whatever. You know, no big deal. And also having very limited experience with admin. That reaction right there, that he was just like, yeah, that's my screen name. Like, so, you know, just kind of like downplay and dismissive. Those are the kind of people I like being around. Those people who think that, like, who don't think that they're important in any such way. Those are the ones that I like to hang out with. And then I looked him up and I was like, oh fuck. Yeah. So he's making me sad now. I'm sorry, weapons. If you want a suggestion for reading, I highly recommend Lit RPGs. If you like games, you'll love those. Like the Choose Your Own Adventure books, I'm not being a smartass. Those were really hard for me to follow, but I do fuck with sci-fi and fantasy. Like, a lot of people assume that because, you know, I'm a military style content creator and I use the planes and stuff like that, that I really only like military books. I love good sci-fi and fantasy books. I fucking love them. Even ones for like young adults, like the Artemis Fowl series, Ender's Game, love those. Look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I got bored with the Harry Potter series. Didn't enjoy it. I got like halfway through the first book. I was like, this is stupid. This is dumb. I didn't enjoy it at all. I don't know why. I think people just like, it was kind of overhyped. I didn't enjoy it. Is the Dark Star real? Even if I knew, I probably couldn't say. Uncle Sam is designing. Here's the thing. Uncle Sam never stops designing. That's something I've learned about the military is everything. So kind of I guess a rule of thumb that we use in the military is you never stop improving your foxhole ever. And this goes from like infantry tactics, like you start sandbagging something. Cool. Now we're going to double layer the sandbags. Now we're going to add C-wire. Like, you never stop improving your position. And the same goes for a lot of our developmental programs. We never stop improving our position. So now we've changed things a little bit. Before it was like test. Okay, cool. Switch it over. Now it's tested at the operational force and then implement it. And now it's like test, implement, go. Test, implement, go. Test, implement, go. Like they streamline the whole process. And oftentimes, like, I was testing one build of software while another unit had the previous build of software and was implementing it. And then literally as soon as they got the new software, I had a new build, and like it was really hard to follow. Like, they've streamlined the whole process. He Who Fights Monsters, great book series. That sounds actually right up my fucking alley. I used to love the Goosebumps book. Y'all remember the Goosebumps book from back in the day? Like, all those? The only one that like wasn't really my thing, I think it was the werewolf one. Wasn't a big fan of that one, but the rest of the Goosebumps books, oh man. When I was young, I used to go like every Friday and go get a couple of them bad boys. Mads did what? Terry? What is going on? Look at Admin's second page. He does strat videos. Okay. I need to look more into admin. Message retracted. I'm sorry, Indio. You good? Darth Texan. I goofed it, but you didn't enjoy Harry Potter. Try Lev Grossman's Magicians. Okay. I remember Goosebumps. My daughters read those. Hey, don't, Barry. Don't hurt me here. Just made me feel old. Goosebumps wasn't a thing when I was young. Hey, you're as old as you feel. I'm fucking 90. Oh, God. You know, it's crazy. Like, I think it was the first episode we did. Maybe it was the second episode of Kind of Consensual with Nick, me, Eli, and Rich. And I was like, hey, did you guys know it's not supposed to hurt every time you move? And you see Eli like, what are you saying? And like Nick's like, no, that's fake news. Like, it's just, I don't remember the last time I just didn't feel pain somewhere. Like and it sucks. I mean, but it's the lifestyle I live. I had a lot of good experiences. I had a lot of bad experiences, but I had a lot of good experiences. And that's one thing. Like I give the military shit for running me ragged, but at the same time, I'm really thankful for the military. It got me out of my hometown. It got me away from some bad people. It kind of put my head on straight and forced me to look at the world through a different light. It also tested my gangster. Oh, dear Lord, the military will test your fucking gangster. If the second you're in charge, your soldiers are going to test your fucking gangster. Like, oh my God. Now I don't get stressed at all at work. I really don't. Something will happen at work and I'm like, okay, I'll go do the paperwork. Like, I don't get stressed out. I really don't. Just because I've been tested so much by my formations. And it's the dumbest shit. We had a kid, he got really drunk, came to formation, and it was the most theatrical shit imaginable. And he was like standing there talking to me and my first sergeant, and he's like looking at the commander, like scowling at him. He's like, look at them. They think they're better than us with their fucking bars. And like all of us NCOs were just kind of waiting. Like we were like, hey, calm down, man. But on the inside, we're like, swing. I want to hurt you. I really, really want to hurt you. I like just because, fun fact, you know, like the old days, like, oh, NCOs put their hands on you. That doesn't happen anymore. We don't. I don't know when that stopped, but it was before my time. Kind of. I kind of got the tail end of part of it, but I was also in the felony generation. But yeah, no, like nowadays you do not put your hands on anybody unless it is life, limb, or eyesight. And as an NCO, fun fact, NCOs that are out there, if you've never read the Uniform Code of Military Justice or parts of it, a commander can authorize you, like a company commander, 03, can authorize you to detain somebody. I know because I did it. It's literally a memo. I mean, they can do it verbally, like, hey, go detain them. Go fucking shackle their ass up. But I got a memo, and it said, hey, you are empowered by the commander of so-and-so to detain said individual. And I was like, so if they get physical? He's like, you get physical right back. All right, cool. Let's do it. Wall-to-wall counts, like, bro, that used to be the way. Unexpected Healer has been my top recommendation for lit RPGs. Awful cover, fantastic story. Unexpected Healer. I will have to check it out. Have I read any of the Terry Pratchett's Discworld series? I have not. I have not at all. I really need, I would like to. I would love to read more. And I think that once I get out and I travel more, that's what I like to do on planes. Read. That's really what I do on planes. Will I be using the magic music maker that you used to make the Patriot theme song to make one for the aircraft? I didn't do that. So I will tell you this. I did not do that. This was, I don't know, a couple months ago. I was on Twitter and I reached out to Sabaton telling him, hey, I'd really like a song for air defense called Blazing Skies, and you could talk about blah, blah, you know. I've been trying to get that. And some guy made that and sent it to me. It was like, here, check this out. You know, it's AI, but it's pretty good. And I was like, yo, that's actually, that fucking goes hard. So maybe. It's always the dumb shit. Weapons knows. Two things. I would love to see you and Matt Best on the same episode of Unsub, and we get a video with and can we have a video with tank meetup of the different generations? I want to do that. I want to do different generations of planes. I would like to maybe do like a spin-off series talking about battles that happened during like World War II, hell, even World War One. As for Matt Best, I've never met Matt. I've seen him like from a distance. He was at the first range day I went to, and I was like, oh, that's Matt Best. And then I was like, oh, that's the Undertaker. That's Goldberg. There's Chuck Liddell. Fuck. I feel like I'm important or something. It was really weird. But I've not met him. Oh, and what's his name? Tim Kennedy was there. Yeah, there was a bunch of big names there. Hey, what's up, Travis? Tony, what happened to Tony? I'm trying to see. Tony, congrats. We're saying congrats to Tony. All right, now I got to scroll down to it. Now I want to find out. Love your work. 1,000 days sober today. That's dead serious, man. Alcohol is one of the hardest things to get over. I'm telling you, like, I've talked to people who have, okay, perfect example. Somebody I know very, very close to me has detoxed off of meth, heroin, a lot of other bad shit. And he straight up said, he's like, alcohol is the absolute worst one. So, like, dead serious, man. Congratulations. You're doing phenomenal work, man. Don't ever quit. Don't ever give up. And if you do happen to, stumble or something like that, it's okay. Whether it's 1 day, 1,000 days, doesn't matter. You're back on the horse. That's what fucking matters, man. Oh, there we go. Already got that one. How's Knox? He's sleeping right over there. He's good. He's okay. He's tired, probably a little sore. Two things. Oh, we already got that one too. I scrolled too far up. If you want a great sci-fi, read the Warhammer 40K Eisenhorn series or the first and only series. So I was told, I don't know anything about 40K. I like the art style. I think it's super cool. From what I've seen, but I was told to like open my eyes to 40K and figure out I need to do the oh my god, the Horse Heresy. There you go. The something heresy. I want Horus. The Horus Heresy. That's where I need to start. That's what I was told. Word is Brandon Herrera is going to be named ATF director next week. Bro, I would love to hear that. I'm dead serious. Brandon is not one of those, to make my voters happy, give them whatever they want. Brandon is for no bullshit. Like, this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. This is keeping people safe. This is not. Like that no bullshit, like, understanding of weapons and how they operate. I really do think Brandon is good for that position. No spoilers, you're reading those books. I haven't read them yet. I haven't read them. 40K lore will melt your mind if you go deep enough and not prepared. I don't even know where to start, but everyone says the Horus Heresy is where to start. My buddy LaRue is in here somewhere. I can't read all of it right now, LaRue, but I would love to check out that underground base. I was never able to get into Goosebumps books growing up. I was more into the Shadowrun novels. Cyberpunk sci-fi is my jam. I've heard of the Shadowrun novels, never read them. I do like when they do like a modern spin on like sci-fi and fantasy. So for anyone, spoiler alert here, if you've never read the what is it called? The Ender Fowl. Wow, I just put two books together. Artemis Fowl series. It's kind of cool. Like, they talk about, the fairies and stuff living underground, and they still have use of their magic. But if someone can bamboozle them, they'll lose their magic. Stuff like that. But then, like, the Artemis Fowl, steals someone's book and he's trying to decode it so he can have this power, and they like put his house in a time freeze, and this girl who's the first member of the Lep Recon, which is literally the lower earth people reconnaissance team. Like, it's really cool. I really like the way they did those. Like, the book is really good. The movie is fucking trash. Don't watch the movie. Show us the ham. What the fuck? Oh my god, sorry, I just saw that. How far behind is Russia and China on military equipment, navy, and vehicles of all types, and how bad? So, when it comes to Russia, at least from what I've seen, is you have to pay attention not to what they're saying, but what they're not saying. That's why I made the joke about the donkeys on the front line. Is like there's been several like confirmed reports that like they were requesting logistics support and were literally sent donkeys, like at least twice confirmed, which I think is very telling. We've also known, and I if you guys don't, on Twitter, there's like the OSINT or something like that is his name. He does very, very good breakdowns. And he was explaining that, Russia right now has been at an unsustainable loss of military equipment for some time. Now, nothing is infinite, but they were doing so many forward assaults and simple tactics. You lose more troops attacking than you do defending. And so they've been pushing and they've been hitting Ukrainian lines really, really hard all over the place. Now, they've had some marginal gains, but they've lost a lot of equipment in that. So now it's kind of a battle of attrition. Russia has always made a lot of stuff. They've never really made good stuff. I think it's very telling of the Russian capability that the U.S. about a year or so ago switched their focus to the Pacific. I think that's very telling. Is that like you're in the middle of a war, we know you're not a threat, and then they moved over to the Pacific. China, on the other hand, I don't know. China's kind of a wild card. I look at China kind of like we did before Russia went into this war. Like we don't know exactly what they have, and right now, like what is the risk associated with not believing them versus throwing the money into believing them. So I don't know. It's really hard to stay on top of. So, oh my gosh, I got to get back up. Oh my gosh. All right. I got to catch up. Sorry about this. Look at John Ringo's Black Tide Rising and Paladin Shadow series. Wow. Words are hard tonight, guys. Scotland. Congratulations, fam. I'm what you have in what you have accomplished. Thank you. Oh, you say that to me or just everybody? Not hard to get off alcohol when you have a 4-day hangover. This is the thing. I love my father. He doesn't watch these. I love my father to death. But right now, if my dad stopped drinking at his age, the cumulative hangover would probably kill him. And I'm not even being like sarcastic. It probably would, man. People make fun of the Air Force, but the metric hits the fan for Special Forces. The Air Force comes to save the day, aka pararescue. Okay, counterpoint. While the per capita of special operations in the Air Force is higher than the other branches. Yes, that is true. That is 100% true. The number is overall less, significantly less. So get it. I'm just kidding. Pro tip, the Discworld books are best as audiobooks, and they'll probably help you work on some regional accents. Dude, I've been struggling with South Africa. Now there's some shit happening in South Africa, so I'm like, God damn it. And honestly, the best way I've heard the South African accent is imagine you're British and you just tried to fake a Dutch accent. And I'm like, that's actually not bad. That's pretty accurate. And for some reason, my brain just will not do it. I know I brought up the B-29 and freaky FCS the last 2 weeks, but look up Command Decision, a bomber that became an ace shooting down MiG jets over Korea. I know Grandpa Buff has shot down MiGs, but I'm excited. Well, shot down a MiG. Horus Rising is a fantastic book to start at. That was what I was told. Horus Heresy. Space King is too powerful. Hey, see if you can stream with Arch. Is lore guy. Okay, so he like knows a bunch about the 40K. Again, I really like the art style. Like I can appreciate things for a lot of different reasons. Like, a lot of people don't like Borderlands because of the art style. I'm not so much a fan of the art style as I am a fan of the gameplay and the commentary. But then you have games like Enshrouded that the art style and the visuals on it are just stunning, just phenomenal. But I can also appreciate the style of Minecraft, even though I don't partake. Not my thing. You and Nick have to explore the underground cheese caves. Okay, guess we're going to find cheese caves. Questions: do you shave your head? Yes, I do. If so, was it worth it? So I will tell you, for me, I used to have, I was, had the hard part and all that stuff, and I could probably still grow it. Like, I'm not completely bald on top. It's actually, I got stubble up here. I do got a, solar panel back here, but I could probably do that again. But I remember I was spending money, and in the Army, haircuts are, $10, $15, $20 a week, because you have to get a haircut every single week. And my wife was like, why don't you just shave it? And I was like, but then I'll be bald. And she's like, okay, I think you'd look great bald. And I was like, okay. So probably 6 years ago now, I just took it all off and been that way ever since. I only ask because I'm balding, genetics and stress. I will tell you, I'm a glass half full person. And while you may be balding, and some people may make fun of you for balding, my counterpoint is that I'm immune to dandruff. Checkmate. Okay? And I'm on the fence about shaving it. I know not relevant to anything, but I thought I'd ask. No, honestly, so it's going to be weird at first. I'm going to tell you regardless. It's going to be weird at first. But all of you met me while I was bald. So if I grew hair, I would look weird to you. So eventually, like, it takes a little while, but everyone will just know you as being bald. Like, no one will ever really give a shit. I would say just go for it, man. I spend $8 a month on my haircuts. 1 pack of razors. Worth it. Donkey only needs to eat grass and hay. Vehicles need fuel and get blown up. I know. Did you guys like the jokes about the bukanka? And I said the name of the truck. It's the bukanka. I didn't say anything else. I had to be very careful and tread lightly on that one, but I wanted you guys to get the joke. I hope you guys enjoyed that. My dandruff is like 1,000% on crack. I'm immune. If I get dandruff, I mean, do I get it? Like, can I get it? Yeah, absolutely. But I just take some lotion and we're good. Everything's fine. Yes, love those jokes. Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed them. Scotland! Shadow Stormer, thank you so much. It's better to over-prepare than under-prepare. Exactly. I want to see a video of Japan and Grandpa Buff reacting to HLC touching the boat. I had so much fun making that, man. That was a good time. Recently found out I build parts for Aegis. That's gangster, by the way. That's fucking awesome. There's some things I learned about the Aegis destroyer that, like, Uncle Sam overspends on a lot of shit. That is an absolute undeniable fact. Uncle Sam overspends on some shit. But that ship makes goddamn sense. Like, you think, okay, it's just a ship. Dude, did you know, and I verified this through civilian, like, sources, did you know that the Arleigh Burke class destroyer can demagnetize its hull to sail right through magnetic fucking sea mines? How the fuck do they think of that? Like, I hear things about radar. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I know how radar theory works, radar, bands and fucking nails and shit. And like, I pay attention to that. But they're like, I don't even know how you could demagnetize that. Like, it's just so strange to me. Like, it's just such a, that's futuristic, man. Right? That's cool. That's like, who came up with that? Like, there was so much more I found out about that ship, and I'm like, yo, that's wild. Like, that's insane that they can do that. Anyways, after watching your stuff, big fan of your work, and always like hearing about your new stuff, or the new stuff from you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, young knight. He's got 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Now I'm going to reach for him. Let's see if he notices. Oh, he sees my hand moving. There he goes. All right, Buffalo. Do you want to try and jump up and say hi? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I know. No. Okay. He's not going to jump up right now. He's feeling a little under the weather. It's okay, my best bud. That's my best buddy in the whole wide world. All right, bud. You can go to bed. I can't give you too many of those. But play games, it's easier way in. The 40K games, I was thinking about getting Space Marine 2. That whole ship sailed like before I picked it up, and I was like, it's whatever. I am a big fan of PvE games lately. There's one that I'm waiting for. It is on my list, and I'm so excited about it. well, two. There's like two that are like up here that I really am looking forward to. One is Light No Fire. It's from the same people who make No Man's Sky. It's a procedure. Well, it's partially procedurally generated, but the map is a whole planet, like the size of Earth. That's the map, and it's a survival game where you build your own shit, depending on the build mechanics. And also, if you're designing a survival game nowadays and you cannot dig, your game will not last. I'm sorry, like that's why Ark started to fade off. You can't dig in Ark. 7 Days to Die you can. Enshrouded you can. Fucking, like pretty much every other game you can do that. But if you can't dig in Light No Fire, you're not going to do well. Demonetize this whole damn. I right. And then the other thing is the other game is called Jump Ship. Now Jump Ship, you can look it up on Steam. It's on my wish list. Jump Ship is it's 4-player co-op, and it's like Sea of Thieves, but it's PvE only, and it's in space. So you and your buddies all man a ship, and you make repairs, you work the guns, you like magnetize your boots. But the cool thing is you do missions, and when you land, you jump off of your ship, and it's a first-person shooter. So you're doing team stuff to like get things back to your ship and finish missions. It looks really good. Honestly, if it plays as good as the trailer looks, I'm very excited for it. If you can dig in Ark, you can dig in Ark 3 feet deep. Well, okay. Can you dig in Ark now? Never used to be able to. Not a fan of you, just a fan of your content and jokes. Thanks, insert name here. I appreciate it, man. I'm not a fan of me either. There's a weird position to be in, is I don't like myself, but I'm also a coward, so I can't do anything about it. So it's fucking that's a joke, by the way, guys. The less hair you have, the more. I wish that were true. Can I do a video on Fright Night? What is Fright Night? Like, when I hear Fright Night, I just think of like Six Flags. Self-degaussing, yes. Has a really good into the 40K video. Lucian 09. I will have to check it out. Again, I keep hearing Scotland, but never hear forever. That's because everybody knows that Scotland is forever. Huh? I am Confucians. I got a really bad dry scalp. Shave your head, homie. Use the lotion. Fiberglass hull. Nah, I guess it's a metal hull, and then out of nowhere it's just no longer magnetic. They have a way to do that, and I have no idea how the fuck it works. I have no idea like whose brain made that happen. But when you hear about shit like that, you're like, that's why it's so expensive. That makes fucking sense. Like the things I know about the Patriot system, like, okay, like our computer mice inside the system, they're way overpriced. It's like $1,000 for a $10, mouse. But that radar, the things it can do, it makes perfect sense. Like when people are like, oh, we spend this much on this, oh, that's waste. We spend this much on this, oh, that's waste. $150 million for a Patriot radar makes sense. It's actually that we're getting a deal on that. It's a complete steal. Like it makes sense. Are there any planes doing cameos that need Grandpa Buff or the kid? Wait, the Grandpa Buff or the kid cameo? Are any of the planes? Oh, you're talking about like my cameo. Whoever. Like, here's the thing, if someone wants, but most people that go to my cameo, like I have a cameo, I don't promote it, I just wanted it there. Like I honestly, it's peanuts. Like it's super cheap for shit, and I did that on purpose because that's just another way that I can like, hey, cool, hey, I'm here, and I made somebody's day. But I want it to be mutually beneficial. But yeah, I'll do cameos with whoever. If you want Scotland to do a cameo, fuck it, just tell me, I don't care. Let's ask why we don't tell Navy character. Let's have don't ask, don't tell Navy character. Sorry, it took me a minute. I had to read that slowly. Have I tried Darkness Falls mod for 7 Days to Die? Yes. I'm not very good at 7 Days to Die. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm very, very good at building. I can build some great traps, the routing, like I am on top of that. I'm always like in survival games, I am a solid builder. Not a good fighter. And in Darkness Falls, you kind of need to be, because everything is trying to murder you. Oh, it's called degaussing. Fair enough. For the hull. Six Flags, Disney Parks. Six Flags way better. Operation Iraqi Freedom. What are we talking about now? Wait, what? Sweet Nova Camp Mod Go Wild. Oh, wait, what? What? I actually had 2 times speed on an HLC plus accent, 2 times speed. It's a thing. Great. 7 days build make no sense. There, you know, you're not wrong. Oh my God, man. Oh, the hip is hurting tonight. I'm ever going to make an Avro Vulcan character. There's a lot more characters I want to make. It's just a matter of necessity. Like the reason I keep on using like Grandpa Buff and the Kid is those are very well established characters, and I don't want to establish a character that people love and no longer have a reason to use them. Plus I also need to figure out, you know, a voice for them. Funny play, man. We getting crunk. I wish. John F. Kennedy. It isn't. You must not ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I do a terrible JFK, by the way. You guys think he knows the Avro Vulcan? I know stuff. Yeah, it looks like a big Delta wing. Yep. That's a big looking. Play DayZ. Okay, hold on. I used to play DayZ way back in the day before you could actually build stuff in DayZ. And to me, that was one of the most toxic group of humans I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay? Like, it was bad. I would like go in, get everything I needed, and then I would hit like the exfil, and there was some fucking asshole waiting right by the exfil to murk me. That's why I don't play DayZ, and that's also why I won't play Rust. Rust, I already know how I get when I do PvE servers and like Ark and everything else. Like I know how I get, and Rust is like the worst of that. Like you have to be a terrible human, wow, a terrible human to play Rust. You have something wrong with you if you enjoy Rust. Name what it's famous for? Yeah, let me, well, it, let me just, I gotta stretch here real quick. It's, I mean, it was a high altitude strategic bomber for the Royal Air Force from 1956 until 1984, obviously. Of the 3 V-bombers produced, the Vulcan was considered the most technological advanced, but it was the riskiest option. Yeah, I mean, I know all sorts of stuff about it. Sorry. Do I ever see javelins replacing toes on Bradleys? Are toes just good enough that it's not worth the cost changing toes, or do have an advantage? I think there's a mutual advantage in both. Toes, okay. Toes are cheaper if I'm not mistaken. I know javelins are expensive as shit. Javelins I want to say are like 500k. Let me see cost of a tow missile. I don't know. I'm trying to find the exact, it depends on the okay, sorry. It says the unit cost is around 50 grand a pop. That's significantly cheaper than, let me see. Javelin missile cost, 200,000 per missile. So the cost is there. Also, like all the internals for firing it are there. And it's a proven effective system. A tow hits hard. They do hit really hard. I hate it as a tanker that I have to say this, but in the Battle of 73 Easting, over all other systems and shots and bullets that were ever used, the tow missile reigned supreme. And I hate that I have to say that. God, I hate that so much, because it should have been a Sabo war. But the tow missile did its own thing. You know, it's one mission. The one mission was nuclear. Carried nukes. Play Escape from Tarkov. Look, man, I like the location of my keyboard and mouse. I want you to know this keyboard, I probably need to replace it. I broke the tabs off of the back. You know what I was playing? War Thunder. I beat the shit out of my keyboard playing War Thunder. Look, PvP games make me the worst version of myself. What is my favorite car? Great question. Favorite is kind of arbitrary, but if you're asking like dream car, I'd probably have to say 70 Challenger RT and Pearl White. The Vanishing Point car. If you've never seen the movie Vanishing Point, hot take, it's not a great movie, okay? Hot take. There's some that are gonna be like, it was a wonderful movie. No, it was a 20-minute car chase followed by an hour of just drug-induced boobs and shit. Actually, in hindsight, that does sound pretty awesome. But anyways, yeah. The movie Vanishing Point, it's not bad. There was 2 cuts of Vanishing Point, by the way, at the end. So, you know, it was like the car was so fast it would vanish after a certain speed and blah 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 blah. And at the in the theatrical version, they had 2 bulldozers blocking the road, and the guy tweaked out of his damn mind driving this car as fast as he could, and he crashed into the bulldozers, and that's where the movie ends. And the extended cut one, he crashed into the bulldozers, car explodes into flames and stuff like that, and then as the credits roll up, you see the car riding off into the sunset. So, like, yeah, it was kind of a, I don't know. I'm not sorry. My dream car is a 7205 Spider. I don't even know what that is. Hold on. Oh, 720S. I'm dyslexic. 7205. Yep. No, that's a beautiful car. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of the McLaren P1. And the only reason I like the P1, like, I'm not a big fan of McLaren in general. Like, even if I had a million, if I had hundreds of millions of dollars, I probably still wouldn't buy them. But I respect Jeremy Clarkson as a car enthusiast, because he always appreciates the vehicle itself over like a lot of the other things. Like, you could literally be the worst human in the world, but if you designed a good car, he would tell you that this company designed a really good car. Like, and I really like that. And the McLaren P1 scared him. Like, he's like, it's like holding onto the tail of a Bengal tiger. It is terrifying to drive. And that's why I like it. Because if it scared Jeremy Clarkson, yes. Power! Yes. Nah, the hippie van for life? Nah. No hippie van for me. I leave for 5 minutes listening to a song someone sent me, and I come back to Angel talking about missiles. Why am I not surprised? That's fair. That's totally fair. Your dream car, 720S Spider, sorry. Just pull up a picture of it. What about Red Dead Redemption 2? I never played Red Dead Redemption. I never did. I like Tears of the Sun. I saw that in theaters. It was great. We'll miss you, Bruce. I feel so bad, man. Like, Bruce, that's probably the one thing like that has happened to a celebrity that made me feel both really bad and really old at the same time. In case y'all didn't know, Bruce Willis he has a very aggressive form of dementia, and he's now non-vocal. That's how far down the rabbit hole he's gotten. He didn't pass away yet, I don't think. I don't think so. No, he's still alive, according to that. But yeah, he and his daughter takes care of him now. And it kind of puts everything in perspective for you, is that, like, no matter what happens in life, you'll still have family. Yeah, I know I sound like Vin Diesel.
Family.
Yeah. Vulcans, look up exercise Sky Shield. Now I'm kind of curious. Is it exercise? I see Operation Sky Shield. Properly Exercise Sky Shield was a series of 3 large-scale military exercises conducted in the United States and Canada by NORAD and CONAD.
Would you intercept me?
Siege.
I'd intercept
Sage.
me.
I don't know how to say it.
I don't trust my dad telling me my grandma passed. Constant lies about little things. If she passed, then she's probably in a better place. She worked as a nurse in Saudi Arabia. Her first husband died as a Marine in the Korean War. My GPA was Navy. Third was AF.
What I would tell you is, shit, I don't really have any advice for that. Number one, first of all, thank you for your generosity, but I would say you probably need to find closure regardless. Yeah. Yes, that's what I would say. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, I really want to give you a good answer, but thank you so much. You know, your first husband died as a Marine in the Korean War, probably one of the Frozen Chosen. Grandpa was Navy. Third was Air Force. Huh. Sky Shield, 99% effective. The results show how unsuccessful defense would be against the Soviet air attack. No more than 1/4 bombers in the Sky Shield would have been intercepted, according to later reports. Damn. Top Gear's Hilux test was hilarious. Oh, bro, it was. Oh my gosh, I hate it when it does that. Dream car's a Lamborghini Hurricane? Really? I don't know. I feel like Lamborghinis are a little overrated. Personal opinion. You know, just like a Ferrari, like you're buying a name. I feel like McLaren still really cares about building. Like, okay, for example, another good company is Koenigsegg. I think I'm saying that right. The Koenigsegg 1. Like it's such a simple idea, but it's a revolutionary engineering marvel. I don't know if you guys know why the Koenigsegg is the Koenigsegg 1 is called the 1. It's because it has 1 horsepower per kilo. Now, when you think about that, it's like, okay, so it weighs, 1,000 kilos and it has 1,000 horsepower. But to mathematically do that, it's so wild because, okay, I've never had to think about, if you're going to put a supercharger on the top of a motor, let's say it's a 4-liter supercharger or some crazy big thing, right? 4 is not huge, but anyways, you have to get you now have to figure out how much horsepower that's going to add versus how much weight that's going to add. And you got to, okay, well, if we need this weight, then we have to shed the weight somewhere else. It's such a cool idea, man. HLC Love from Canada. Thank you so much, Adam, for being here. Fifth Element, bro. Fifth Element, great movie. If you guys have never seen The Fifth Element, to this day, and they never get it because they're kids, and I feel just awful about it. I will go through the gate every once in a while here on base, and I will hand them my ID card and say, Lilu Dallas Multipass. None of them get it. Makes me immediately feel very old. Try playing Marvel Rivals. Dude, that's PvP, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Can't stand Porsche headlights. I feel like Porsche for a while was just a name, and then they're like, okay, we're not a name anymore. We need to hurt some feelings. I feel like Porsche really, in the last 10 years or so, Porsche really came out swinging. I ain't got no fire, Corbin. Father, you smoke. Yes. Great movie. Wonderful movie. I think she's sitting on a beach with Tupac like my grandma. Seji, I wish I had a better answer for you there, man. I would do what you have to take the time and go verify the claims and then move on. And take solace in the fact that she was in a better place. SIC Museum, Ashland. Northeast Heartland Museum of Military Vehicles, Lexington, Nebraska. Tri-State Threshers Military Equipment Show, Bird City, Kansas, end of April. Sorry, I had to wait until I was stopped. You're good, Scott. No, you're good, man. There's a lot of things that I would honestly, I'm not gonna lie. As excited as I am about this show and sharing it with you guys, I'm also really excited that I get to go to these places and check this shit out because I'm a fucking nerd. So like, I have to force myself. So like when we were there, me and Nick were at the Air Defense Artillery Training Support Facility. I had to force myself to laugh and make jokes because I just wanted to be like a deer in headlights. Like, this is the coolest shit. This is so cool. I love every bit of this. Like, it was an interesting thing. While I love the fifth element, forget multipass, I still want someone to explain the 3 seashells. Hot take, I think that Wesley Snipes in The Demolition Man was his best role. I think that it was better than Blade. Simon Phoenix, he played Simon Phoenix better than he played Blade. And hot take, I got it. Everyone knows Wesley Snipes for his Blade role, but I think like he did Criminally Insane. Like there's those iconic roles. And he played Simon Phoenix, and Simon Phoenix was so criminally insane in that. The only other comparable like character I've ever seen that is that level of criminally insane is Heath Ledger's Joker. Like those two to me are both really well portrayed. Phenomenal. See, a good and bad I like. Yes. And then after that, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think it's on Peacock. They have the new Twisted Metal TV series. And some of the season is really meh. But then you get to the end, and the guy who plays Sweet Tooth is also portraying that level of criminally insane that I haven't seen in such a long time. I think he did really well. The writing is good. The visuals are good. I really, really like it. So, Denzel in Training Day, very good movie. Training Day, God, man, I haven't seen that forever. Considering Porsche built the best and worst tank ever. Which one did they build? I thought they were putting engines in... I thought Tigers had Porsche engines. Maybe they're Volkswagen engines. I don't remember. Simon Phoenix was the shit. I'm telling you, it's a great... If you guys have never seen The Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone, you need to see it. Like, if you're a young person in here and you've never heard of The Demolition Man, watch it. And as we continue in the world of censorship, you're realizing that it's less of a movie and more of a documentary. It's like Idiocracy. Like, it really is. Like, when Idiocracy came out, it was kind of like, aha, this is funny. And then as we continue, it's like, oh, fuck, we're going that way. And now, like, you watch The Demolition Man and you're like, God damn it, no. Oh, no. So, like, be well, John Spartan. Be well. Do you get the 3 seashells though? Oh, I don't know how to use the fucking 3 seashells. I would I would do the exact same thing that John Spartan did. I like Snipes and U.S. Marshals. Oh, I've seen that one once. I haven't seen that a lot. My mom just texted me. She's like, why didn't you tell us about Knox's surgery? My mom always sends coloring books. Whenever we have surgery, we get coloring books. So every time I've been worked on, I got a coloring book. Idiocracy was scary. At first it wasn't. It like, you watch it and you're like, haha. And then like, as you go on, you're like, no. Like I still reference it sometimes. Like I'll be at work and somebody will get injured. I'm like, your shit's all, and I can say the first one. Your shit's all fucked up. And yeah, I can't say the second part, but it's so good. Dream car is a 1969 Oldsmobile Cutlass Hurstles. I'm not sure what the Hurstles means. Old Cutlasses, like fastback Cutlasses, were really good. I don't know what it is about the United States. And maybe I'm the only one. The United States, like, was phenomenal at building cars, like when cars came around, like towards the 50s, where they were really predominant, all the way until like I'll go with 78, 77, somewhere in there. Like, we really knew how to make beautiful cars. And then we just forgot until like the mid 90s. We just completely forgot how to make cars, with the exception of Buick, who managed to pump out the Grand National, which is the only like box body car that I ever liked, is the Buick Grand National. I don't like the Fox Body 5.0. I don't like the Nova 2. Like, we just forgot how to build cars for like a decade. And now we're like, okay, let's build cars again. Grand National's based. Dude, Buick Grand National's, it's an iconic piece of American hardware. 57 Chevy, my true dream car. Oh, that's my dad's dream car. The 57 Chevy 2-door Bel Air hardtop. Buick is the most random of car companies. I know. It's like, nowadays I see a Buick, like a brand new Buick, and I mean, they're kind of like they're like a low-end luxury car is what I would consider a Buick nowadays. But I don't think Buick and like sports car. Like it's not in my brain. Same thing with Oldsmobile, because Oldsmobile completely forgot how to make cars and then they just fell off the market. But yeah, Buick out of nowhere. The 95 Mitsubishi 3000 GT. The 3000 GT, like I'm saying, in the 90s, we remembered how to make cars. Mitsubishi's not American, but I'm there with you. You know, like the when the Blazer made a comeback. You know, Ford Bronco. We started making good four-wheel drives. The turbo version was the shit. God, I'm not just being a zoomer. Buick equal old people cars. That's fair. So were Mercuries. Mercuries were old people cars. Unless it was like a Mercury Cougar. Then you were a high school kid who bought that shit and thought it was fast. That's, yeah. Same thing with Zs. Dude to get like a 200Z and be like, I could race anybody. Like, you know you have like the lowest end Z, right? Like, I look like One Punch Man. Thank you. Do you guys know One Punch Dad? One Punch Dad on YouTube and TikTok. He's a friend of mine. He's a CW3. Chief Warrant Officer 3. His name is Josh, and he is a great guy. I've known him since Korea. We've been there a long time. Just want a stake bed pickup? Bro, I wish they'd bring back stake bed pickup. You know what I wish they'd bring back more than anything else in the world? And I tell you, if you're in the car manufacturing world, you can take this to the bank. If there was a company out there that made a half-ton higher end, not base model, higher end pickup truck, like a Bighorn or something, that was a standard instead of an automatic, I would sell my truck tomorrow. No one makes them. Toyota doesn't even make them anymore. I want a standard pickup truck again. Gappers,
Would you
what's up,
intercept me?
dude?
I'd intercept me.
FMK, TARD, Aegis, Patriot. Also, the A10 and F14 are overrated.
Gappers came in here and he's like, I'm going to hurt everybody's feelings. Whoa. 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 True on the half ton? The Midwestern rail fan you want to deploy half your life. Wait, what? Ethan Midwestern. Oh, HLC, my dream job is 24th Special Tactics Squadron with the U.S. Air Force. This is the thing. So, all right, what you got to remember about the military in general, and I will tell everybody this because I'm not a recruiter. The House always wins. Okay, every vet will agree with that statement. Be like, hey, does the House always win? They'll tell you yes, absolutely, 1,000%. Uncle Sam will get whatever they want from you, without question, 100 times over. Okay, so pick a job, pick a duty station, pick whatever you can for yourself, because Uncle Sam is going to get whatever they want out of you anyways. So don't mess with Bert. The F-14 is not overrated. Gappers is just in here to start some shit. But yeah, from the 1950s, you don't look that old. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Old school Zs are sick, bro. The old, like the cigar car style, killing me. John Wayne's not dead, he's frozen. Oh, as an air, Pilgrim. Oh, God, I don't do a good John Wayne. Buick Grand Sport was nice, but love the GTO. Yo, the GTO Judge, really underrated. Beautiful car, beautiful car. I love a good fastback. I love when a fastback is built the right way. There are the wrong way to build a fastback. The Mustang 2, for example. The Nova 2. Some versions of the Plymouth Duster. Older 70s models and earlier Plymouth Dusters, chef's kiss. Later models, like 80s, awful, awful. F-15 is underrated. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's up, Aiden? Oh, you take it off, man? Take it easy. We got about another half hour here. Hello from Canada, late to the party. What's going on? Well, Gappers came in and decided to just fight everybody. He just wanted, so I don't know if you guys know this. Before the internet came out, to start a riot, it was usually pretty simple. You have to find an area of civil unrest, large number of people, and throw a chair. That's how you start a riot. Nowadays, since the internet has come around, you start a riot by yelling the word "World Star." Gappers did pretty much the equivalent of walking in and yelling World Star. Thank you, Gappers. Smartass. Single cab long beds back. Yes. You know what else they need to bring back? Bench seats. Like, not like fold down. I want fucking 70 cup holders, like a legit bench seat in a single cab pickup. Gorgeous. Tiberius Rex, thank you so much. New York City loves the habitual line crosser. I've never been to New York. I would go. There's things in New York I do want to see. I just cities in general, I don't like. Like when I went up to Washington to visit my little sister, I went through Seattle. Blech. And Vegas was dirty. Like just cities are just piles of human filth. I like my space. I like my space from other people. Roadrunner. Ooh, dude. Okay, I got a funny story about a Roadrunner. Roadrunners are really rare. Okay, guys. If you've ever seen one, they're hard to find because they didn't sell that well when they came out, but now they're an iconic collector's piece. But the Roadrunner, like the 446 pack and stuff like that, beautiful, beautiful cars. Gorgeous. Now I remember I was doing funeral detail. And it was hands down, funeral detail is probably one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had in the military. Because you get to be the representation that family expects of the United States military. Now I didn't do like honor guard or anything. In the Army, we have like a rotational funeral detail where you either do service rep funerals, which means that somebody served and then they got out before their 20 years, they didn't retire, and they get 2 people that show up with a flag, and, you know, hand off the flag to the family, and you say, you know, on behalf of the United States Army, or behalf on the President of the United States Army, and a grateful nation, please accept this flag as a symbol of your loved one's honorable and faithful service. That's what you have to say. And then you have full honors funerals, which is somebody who retired but didn't die in combat, and they get a full team, go out there, fold the flag, play the bugle, that whole thing. Now, I was doing a service rep funeral somewhere in, I think it was in Arkansas. And we do, you know, you bounce around a little like hole in the wall towns all over the place. So I'm doing this service rep funeral, and it was me and one other guy. And this guy, we showed up early. We got there way early. So, you know, we link up with the family, like, hey, where's this at? You know, what's going on here? This is how we're going to do. So then, like, okay, it's showtime. People start showing up. So we're both standing at parade rest, kind of a modified parade rest, hands in front of us, in front of the casket. Because the family wanted us to actually fold the flag, which is not normally something we do, but I'm not going to tell a wife no as she's burying her husband. Like, that's not the person that I am. You want something to happen? Like, we're not supposed to be pallbearers either. But this wonderful old lady on another one that we did, no one showed up, like none of their family. So we were like, absolutely, we will carry your husband to his final resting place, like without question. And so we're standing there, and the guy was in a car club, and beautiful cars start showing up, like just classic, I mean, just gorgeous cars. And I remember we were standing there, and I hear like a rumble from behind the trees. And I kind of glanced out of the corner of my eye, and I see this gorgeous, it was like I don't even know what color it was. It was like a burnt orange. It was like a cross between fire engine red and like fucking neon orange. It was beautiful. Roadrunner just come from around the corner. And I'm not gonna lie, I lost all military bearing. I did. I lost everything. I like saw it, and there's people sitting in front of me, and I went, oh my God. And then like I remembered what I was doing, and I was like, and so I completely lost all bearing at this Roadrunner. Gorgeous. 1968. I have a picture of it somewhere. And so that happened. And then after the funeral, you know, went around, and I was looking at the cars, taking pictures. And I mean, I'm in uniform, so, you know, of course people want to take pictures with me and stuff. And, you know, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You know, I am a representation of the United States military for your loved one. And I went over to the Roadrunner, and I was like, you know, can I take a picture with your car? And, you know, he's like, yeah, absolutely. And like, I stood next to the car, and he's like, you know, you can kind of lean over on it if you want to. And I was like, would you lean on the Mona Lisa? And he's like, fair enough. And so we talked about his car for a while. It was beautiful. I mean, I feel really bad for, you know, some of the things, like some of the families and, you know, things like that. But that was hands down one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had in the military. Yeah, I had a crisis. I absolutely had I've never you got to understand, like, I've been standing there in front of a casket and I've had like June bugs fly into my shirt and I didn't move. Like, I've had wasps, like, you know, right in front of my face, didn't move. Like, I've been prepared, and I got broken by a 68 Roadrunner. I got absolutely broke up. Throw up a salute to you for that, HLC. Thank you so much, Too Shady. I appreciate it, man. Great stuff. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. I think that was, if you ever get a chance to volunteer for any kind of funeral detail in the military, it puts it into perspective for you. It really does. And you want everything to go perfect for that family. I have before, when I was doing funeral detail, we did a fold, and it was very windy that day. And we practice a lot. We practice with the rifles, like everything is to a T. We make sure we practice and we get certified. And we practiced, and it was so windy, we just could not get the fold right. So, like, after we handed off the flag, I took one of my soldiers and I was like, you know, it was his daughter. I think she was the one who received that flag. And I was like, ma'am, you know, I apologize that we were unable to get the perfect fold on that. Would you be okay with me and my soldier taking that over indoors? We're out of the wind so that we can make sure it's folded properly. And while it was just a small thing for us, that probably meant a lot to her. So those are the things that I really liked about it. It was a good way to do something nice for the veterans who came before you. And I'm incredibly grateful that I had that opportunity. When's the next episode of Kind of Consensual? Should be this week, ? DeLorean. Oh, God. I don't know. I don't even know what the DeLorean was, man. Like, it's like, what were they trying to do? Oh, so weird. Cities gross, crowds gross, country, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh man, it's an interesting thing. Like, when the Cybertruck came out, I was like, cool, it's a pickup DeLorean. You own a DeLorean? No shit. Does it run? I bet it doesn't run. I bet $10 it doesn't run. Shit, I'm gonna probably lose out on $10. Have not read my DM on Discord. I'll remind you weekly till you do. The same name here is the same name on Discord. Have a blessed weekend. Kenneth, I didn't. I gotta check. I'm sorry, man. Central Oregon Coast here, retired, living the dream. That's what I'm talking about. It was a passion project. For the DeLorean? Or for what I did? For general. I don't want to be a general, man. Volunteer for the ramp ceremony, loading casket on a jet, ended up guarding against suicide bombers. Fun times. Dude, ramp ceremonies are rough. So for those of you, again, who don't know, a ramp ceremony is a ceremony done to see perished and wounded service members off. The wounded ones kind of walk on by themselves, or they get rolled on in wheelchairs and things like that. But usually when you're leaving country, like, they get, you know, carried on. Now I've had my friends carried out on ramp ceremonies. That being said, I remember when we first got to Kandahar, like we first landed. Yeah, it was like one of our first nights there. They were like, everyone line up, ramp ceremony. And I was like, what the fuck is a ramp ceremony? And literally everybody on that base was out there showing their respect to the service members getting loaded. And it wasn't just American. There was Canadian troops there. There was French troops there. There was German troops there. Like, they were all out there. And I think the only other flag that I saw other than American, I saw one Canadian flag, and they were carrying out their own guy. But yeah, other than that, it was all American troops, and they all came out and showed their respect. That was a rough, like, kind of trial by fire. It was like our first or second night in Kandahar. They were like, ramp ceremony, everyone get up. And I was like, what the fuck is a ramp ceremony? Found out real quick what a ramp ceremony was. That was nuts. Have I met any Kiwis during my time in the military? No, but I did meet one who sold my wife a car. that was about it. I've not worked with the New Zealand at all. It was the only one he could get? Really? Sorry. Went to the air show at the Little Rock Air Force Base in Kansas. I saw my first F-14 in person. Oh, that's hot. I hate that we sold these planes in the Middle East only for them to get destroyed by us. You know, I can respect that. Like, I would feel really bad. Like, let's say, you know, okay, for example, you know, we have a Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. This thing's going nuts. Ukraine has our Patriot systems. They do. They have a couple of them. I would feel awful if I had to come in and train pilots how to kill my system. Like, that would feel really bad. Like, I don't even know how I would feel about that. So, like, the pilots have to do that. Like, hey, there's a flaw right here in this plane that was never patched or fixed. This is the easiest way to defeat the thing that I spent my life trying to, keep alive. Like, that's, oh God, that's just got to be. I remember getting stung by a wasp while I was being promoted to corporal. The training is real, bro. Big facts. Coke. They were doing coke for the DeLorean. Oh, man. I had one the first minute I hit the AOR. That was fun. Yeah, dude, them ramp ceremonies, they're rough. Roll call. To this day, I don't like hearing taps. And which sucks because during the funeral detail, you have to have someone play taps on the bugle. So it's a little rough. Like, I'm probably, aside from that, like 1968 fucking Roadrunner, the hardest thing is because as I went up in rank, eventually I was the NCOIC, which meant I had to hand off the flag. It's my job. That's my team. Those are my people. I am the representation. I have to hand off the flag. And I'll never forget, there was this one, she was a little old lady. Very nice. So nice, man. You feel so bad for those people because, you're there and you're putting to rest one of their loved ones. So you want to do everything perfect for them. And she was just one of the nicest old ladies in the world. And she was stoic through the whole thing. She was solid. Like, she was sad, but she was solid. And, we make it very, it's a big show, when you hand off that flag. Like, my guys, when they would fold the flag, they present it to me as the NCO, and I inspect the flag. So I would, I did it kind of aggressively, but I did that because they expect like a certain level of snap to U.S. military. And so I would grab the flag kind of like a rifle, and I would snap it up, and I would verify the corners, and then I would go back to this position, and I'd snap it up, and I'd check the corners, and then I would boom, and to the family I go. And I would, facing movements, all that stuff. And then I remember this lady, she was super solid the whole time. Like, it was almost like uncanny how nonchalant she was, even talking to us. And when I kneeled down, when I was holding the flag, I kneeled down, and she just broke. Like, just, I watched this, like, she was probably late 70s, early 80s. I watched her just completely crumble. And I still had to get my words out. And that was rough. Like that. And you got to try and keep a stoic face. Like, I wanted to literally just hand her the flag and wrap her in a hug, but I can't. Like, God, that was rough, man. I will never forget that. Yeah. So, and naturally there's family. Like, when you kneel down, there's cameras, like just family cameras, cell phones, everything. And you got to be straight honed in. Yeah. I'm the Pope of Dope. Not verifying, just letting things play out. Data sort things out. Whether true or false, she's 96. So Jesus said, let the dead bury their dead. Favorite grandson. Man, that's a good way to look at it. Keep your, head on straight and stay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to make this kind of a sad thing. I just, it was a very rewarding, it was a very tough job, and I'm very thankful that I did get to do it. So yeah. Department of Patriot Excellence. He's the real dope. Department of Patriot Excellence. I love it. But yeah, I've had other ones that like are really awkward. There was somebody who wanted to play Amazing Grace on their guitar and sing it, and they didn't know how to play Amazing Grace or the words. Had to keep a straight face through that. I've seen, and this is the reason that before the funeral starts, I always verify who gets the flag. Because when I showed up, the funeral director was like, hey, that's the daughter. She's getting the flag. And I'm like, cool. Now, every single time I go and talk to the family, every single time I went, and I remember I right-faced in front of the daughter. I was holding the flag, and right as I kneeled down, the son came uncorked. because he thought he was getting the flag. And I don't even know if I got all the words out. I felt really bad, but like I was like, bro, this is not the time. You guys talk about this in your off time. Like this, I'm doing a presentation here. Like, don't. So I don't even know if I got all the words out, but like I handed her the flag and I rolled out. So yeah, who is Knox? He is my best buddy. He's the big white dog over there in the small plaid bed. Yeah. Has Brandon received his 5th Purple Heart yet? I don't know, man. I haven't presented it to him. In times like that, emotions just take over every single time. Yeah. And it's you know, sometimes you gotta adjust fire. You gotta, you know, adjust on the fly and make things work. And I've had one funeral turn out absolutely awful. I did the best I could. They literally slapped us together a day before the funeral. Like we had no time to train, no time to prepare. I was so mad at my unit for doing that. But I remember we got out there super early and we ran through it over and over and over and over. And I hit everything I was supposed to hit. My bugler hit everything he was supposed to hit. My soldiers were late on some of the shots. And then I remember they were sloppy. Their marching was sloppy. The folding was sloppy. I was not happy about it. I offered to refold the flag. They declined. I felt awful, man. And I remember I was talking, this guy was a retired E7 standing in front of me. I'm an E5 promotable at the time. He's a retired E7 standing in front of me. And he's like, looks like you got some work to do with him, Sergeant. And I said, yeah, you know, yes, sir. I, you know, apologize. There's no excuse. Like, I didn't want to be like, they threw us together yesterday. Cause that also makes the Army look really fucked up. I was like, you know, there's no excuse. And as I'm talking to him, 50 feet behind me at the van that my soldiers are now loading up into, one of them negligently discharges a blank round. I was standing there talking to this guy and I was like, you know, sir, I apologize. There's no excuse. And just pop. And I was like, will you excuse me? And I about faced and I walked straight back towards that van. I was like, you get your fucking asses in here right now. I swear to God, I'm going to kill every single one of you. Oh my God. Oh, that's day one shit. Oh man. Oh, I've never experienced like just embarrassment and rage that much at the exact same time. Yeah. Oh man, I felt so awful. I felt so bad. You know, don't get everything perfect. Would you bring more of India into your videos? Please look at the HALAMCA. I will look into it. I know India, I kind of suck at the Indian accent, but I will try. I will, because India has a lot going on right now. I know they recently had a crash. They're bought a bunch of new shit. So yeah. Yeah, I'm getting in trouble with that shit. Yeah, and yeah, a negligent discharge on a blank. Whose uniform is better, Army Blues or USMC Blues? God, someone's gonna clip this. I genuinely think the USMC Blues are better. However, we just switched back to the pinks and greens, which are like our old World War II style uniforms, and I genuinely think those are better than the Marine Corps Blues. I genuinely think so. They're very classic look. You actually have to be physically fit to wear them properly, because if you don't, the pistol belt on the outside of the jacket makes you look like you got a fucking just a chunky like belly down on the bottom, man. Last time I did a funeral 21 gun, I had a misfeed on the first round, but to ND, yeah, bro, that was rough. Yeah, I was get Mrs. HLC. For what? What does Mrs. HLC got to do? USMC dress blues are by far best looking. That coming from an Army guy. Yeah, okay, so this is the thing. I don't think the sleeves look better. I don't think the taper of the body looks better. The collar with their Eagle Globe and anchor on it, that shit's hot. I would like, that looks fucking, ooh, that looks good. But I also bet it's a pain in the ass to wear. Like, I know my neck size kind of goes up and down depending on how good of PT I'm getting. So like, I know that happens to me. She needs to do AWACS. Bro, she does. Enjoy your content. Just want to say hello and show support. Thank you, Sophia. I appreciate you being here. Forgot to ask this, but is a war crime is it a war crime to reveal a POW's identity? Saw a video of North Korean POW. Comments said it endangers their family. No. However, so if I was captured, my government as well as my family would want to know my whereabouts. And in the United States, that's very common. Hey, these people have been captured. That's very common. It's not a war crime. The reason why it's dangerous in North Korea is because if they're captured, it means that they didn't die like a man. It means that they were potentially cowardly, and their family will be punished by the North Korean government. That's why it's dangerous for them. Mrs. HLC is the best. I think so too. Take my money, funny missile man. Well, thank you. What's up, Zach? How you doing, bud? Did the ND troop walk home? No, I wanted him to, but we were like 3 or 4 hours away. I remember normally when we get back from a funeral, we store the weapons. I do accountability of all the equipment. We turn back in all the paperwork to casualty assistance office. I clean out the van. We turn the van back in, and then I send everybody on their way. Not this time. Nope. We drove several hours back. I did all the paperwork. I cleaned the van, and then we stayed there with the weapons checked out, and we ran that drill over and over and over until it was absolutely perfect. That was my level of punishment. Is like, guys, you can be as mad as you want to. We are training until this is absolutely perfect. It's not my fault they threw us together at the last possible second, but we're going to make sure like those families deserve better than what we did today. And that's kind of like my mentality on it. Hey man, videos always make me smile. My dad's 32-year Coast Guard. Damn, still active. Bro, you know what the good thing about being the Coast Guard is? And the Coast Guard doesn't have to really focus on their maintenance of their ships as much. I didn't know this. Found it out recently, is the Navy really has to focus on their maintenance. Meanwhile, the Coast Guard doesn't, because if the Coast Guard ship breaks down, they can just walk to shore. I'm sorry. I couldn't pass it. I heard that joke, I think today, and I was like, I'm going to go for it. I have to go for it. Never use the first letter of the 3 main countries in North America. North and South in a row. Yes, I'm aware of what that spells. I was wondering if you could explain your job. Sorry, I had to finish the joke. So my job in the Army is a 14 Echo 14E. I am a Patriot Fire Control Enhanced Operator Maintainer. My job ultimately is I maintain tactical control of the Patriot system itself. I also prepare for movement and in place the equipment. I manage the, I'm in charge, like when shit hits the fan, I'm the one who actually pushes the button to fire the missiles. I identify enemy friend or foes. I do airspace deconfliction and coordination. My job is very tactics heavy, but also like technically my MOS as maintainer as well. I've never done the maintenance aspect of it. Like, I mean, I've done like minor stuff, but I've never like done full on maintenance. I've never been system maintenance. United Nations of functional retard. Hey. Weapons. Why you gotta tell the man the truth? Highly trained monkey. You know, that's not wrong. And I tell that to all my soldiers, like, to love this job the way I do, you have to drink the Kool-Aid. You have to. Like, there's no way around it. You have to drink the Kool-Aid. So, like, for me, I've never been a what person. I've always been a why person. And that's probably the only reason I got good at my job, is I can teach anyone what we call the monkey drill, which is an RFA, ready for action drill. You configure your tabs, you fire up your radar, you start watching the skies, you make sure your launchers are all up and running. Ta-da! I can teach anyone that. It doesn't take long, maybe a couple of days. However, when they taught me the monkey drill, I wanted to know why I was pushing all those buttons in that order. I wanted to know why, when I put this number in a tabular entry, am I at a higher probability of killing that target? Why does firing doctrine affect my probability of kill on certain threats? Why does my interceptor loadout affect, like, I'm always a why person. So I started asking why. And turns out that's really all you have to do in air defense, is just ask why. And so I started reading I was stuck in the van, which is the ECS, the Engagement Control Station, for like 23 hours a day while I was deployed because my lieutenant was too busy playing FIFA. My platoon sergeant was too busy, getting some E4 pregnant. Real thing. So I just stayed in there and I read tactical doctrine. The TTPs, the TSOP, the TACSUP, that's what I did. Believe it or not, we were in country for 9 months. And then because I was reading, I had only taken over like a month or so before that. But we were in country. I just didn't have that job for the first 7 months. And I found an inconsistency that no one else had found because no one else had read the doctrine. Because one document said to do this and another document said to do this. And so when we got evaluated the next time around, I was like, hey, ma'am, our evaluator, I was like, hey, ma'am, this says this, but this says this. Which one takes precedence? And she looked at it and goes, hang on, and like grabbed them and walked out and made a phone call like, hey, something is fucky wucky here. This is not right. And we had been living with that imperfection in the documents for about 9 months. And yeah, platoon sergeant was clapping them. I mean, it was. If the U.S. deployed troops to Ukraine to give Russia what for and you were asked to go, would you? I mean, so here's the thing. You got to understand, when Uncle Sam wants something to happen, they don't ask. When I participated in Operation Afghan Welcome, or Allied Refuge, or it changed every fucking week what they named it to. I was on my 1-year wedding anniversary in Tombstone, Arizona. Wanted to go to Tombstone. Wife and I went there, went to a couple breweries. We went and had a bunch of food. We got matching shirts like goobers. Yeah. The world's largest rose bush is in Tombstone. I don't know if you guys know that. It's like a fucking house. Like, it's huge. But anyways, and so we were just getting done with our weekend. I was gassing up either her car or my truck. I can't remember. I was gassing it up and my phone rang. I was like, huh. It was my sergeant major who never calls me. I was like, Sergeant Major? Yeah, what can I do for you? He's like, pack your stuff. You're getting on a plane tomorrow at 7. And I'm like, where am I going? He said, Virginia. And I was like, cool. Why am I going? He's like, don't worry about it. Cool. How long am I going to be gone? He's like, I don't know. Cool. And I drove straight home and packed. So when Uncle Sam wants you to do something, you don't really have a choice. As I'm still in right now, if they told me to go, there's nothing I would do. I would go and do what my country asked of me. Would I be happy about it? I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of a weird parallel for me. It's a very strange predicament. Like, I do genuinely believe in my heart that Ukraine is on the correct side of that conflict. Not because I think they're better in any specific way, but I believe that they have a right to exist. And we made them a promise. So therein lies my opposition to Russia invading. On the one hand, I love being here. I love being with you guys. I love creating content, and I absolutely love my wife. And I don't want to leave her here alone. But on the other side, I think this happens to all vets that get out. I wonder if there's some piece of knowledge or something inside my brain that could save lives. And I think that's kind of a bit of a dilemma that all vets go through when they get out. And I could be wrong. Maybe weapons might be different. Like, you always, I'm trying to impart as much knowledge as I can on the next generation, because I want to have confidence in them. You always want to train your replacement better than you were. So I want to, like, boom, I want to be confident in their ability to do the job. I don't know if I can be that level of confident. I don't know. Am I worldwide qualified? I have not been. So for us, my job changes wherever you go. My job in Korea is different than my job in Kuwait, is different than my job in Bahrain, is different than my job in Poland. Like, it's so different because there's different threats, there's different kinematic profiles, there's different TTPs, there's different kill chains. Like, it's so different everywhere you go. So like being worldwide qualified in my job is kind of not really a thing. We do everything. Like at first you certify kind of to just do the job. And then as you get closer to that deployment, they funnel in and like, cool, we're going to do a theater specific this, and this. Okay, cool. So we're going to have these threats plugged in. They're going to hit at these times. This is what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not certified for Ukraine. I will tell you that much. Adam, thank you so much. And what is my other dog's name? That is Rain. She's actually my sister's dog. My sister, when she enlisted in the Navy, was like, hey, will you keep an eye on my dog? And in my family, when dogs show up, they're family. And they're not gone until they're gone. So Rain is family. She's staying here. Indeed, cross-training HLC is right. Yep. Weapons, you're not wrong on that. I get that feeling a lot. Like you always want to, I don't know, man. It's a really weird position to be in mentally, because I don't know. I've talked with my missus about this. I'm going to go ahead and end on this, but as I'm getting closer to the exit of my military career, while I'm excited for what the future has to hold for me, and I'm sure a lot of vets feel this way, is I wonder if the years when I meant something are behind me. I don't know. Like it may seem strange because like, hey, you're HLC. I don't know. It's just something that's kind of popped up in my brain lately. Is like I wonder, you know, when I was in Afghanistan, I mattered because I was carrying the weight and I was watching my guys back. When I was in UAE, I mattered because I was watching the skies and protecting an air base. I don't know. I don't know. And it's weighing on me. It's something that's fairly heavy in my brain on a pretty regular basis. You mean a lot to a lot of people. I do appreciate that. I really do. I know, and I just, you know, this is all I've known in my adult life. This is all I've ever known. So it's scary. It's terrifying. But yeah. Did I fire Patriot missiles in UAE? No, I did not. Watched a lot, but actually, you know what's funny? In 2022, if you look up the video of Patriot firing and they hit stuff, I don't know how much of that is public yet. I'd have to look into it. That was my site. That was Pat 8. I know exactly where that was. That's where I was for a year. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The rooster. Sorry, I can't. One door opens, another one closes. I know, and you know, you guys keep me going. I do enjoy all the comments. I do enjoy, you know, you guys build me up, and it may seem kind of silly to some people that, like, you know, you're this big YouTuber, and every single time someone is like, hey man, you helped me through a rough time, or your videos really brighten my day, you know, that's my level of giving an impact back, and that's what I want to do. Love you, bro. Hope your dog gets better. Yeah, me too. It looks like he's sleeping pretty good. But post a bull. This will be the last one. Everyone that serves is important. If they're asked or assigned to a task, it's one less task someone else would have to take care of. Thank you for your service, man. Take care. Postal bull, thank you so much, man. It's something I'm coming to terms with. I'm excited, but I'm also really nervous. So with that being said, every single one of you guys, do not give in to the 22 a day. Every single one of you are amazing. If you would like to support the channel, please go to habituallinecrosser.com. Remember our new shirt with Franklin, the I Think of You Often on Trash Day, is only live for the month of February. So check it out. If it's something you're interested in, go ahead and pick yourself up one. So Dr. Kozak is in here too. What's up, buddy? I haven't seen him in a while. He took Friday off, but I will see you guys later. I would say play me out, but my music isn't working because my computer crashed and I haven't found the song again. I'll see you guys later.